Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of my Pokemon set idea called Dragon's Might. Alright, let's get into this. First of all, trade offer. Once again, if I get 500 subscribers, y'all get the satisfaction of watching me waste my money on opening a Mega Evolution Elite Trainer box. So subscribe if you want me to waste my money. For content, yeah. I will film the entire thing. Yeah, let's get into this. First of all, my sister wanted these two. These are her two favorite Pokemon, and she wanted them as Pokemon cards. Specifically EXs. And so I've done that. So Snom EX, 170 HP, Water type with weakness to Steel, 2 retreat costs with the ability Bug Eyes. If your attack requires a coin flip, you may use this ability. The first coin you flip lands on heads. You may only use one ability with Bug Eyes in its name per turn. I feel like this should be in the game. There should be a card where it causes you to flip heads automatically. Kind of like how Will does in TCG Pocket. And then for 1 water, Icicle for 60, and then put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Alright, Torchic EX, 200 HP, Fire type, weak to water, 1 retreat cost, and then for 1 fire energy, Blazing Charge. Search your deck for 3 fire energies and attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. Then Fire and Colorless Ember for 120. Alright, now let's go into the comment card. Peyton Phillips says, not sure if it fits into the set or not, but I think it would have been cool to get a Cynthia's Togekiss 1-prizer or an EX variant. It'd be cool if the Togepi or Togetic had an ability that when you play it onto your bench, you were able to search a deck for another Cynthia's Pokemon, so that you'd be able to use this as its own deck and not have to rely on the Gabite engine to set up. For the Togekiss, I think it'd be cool if it had a 1 Psychic energy shred attack that did 70 or 80 damage to be able to OHKO basics. And maybe some sort of 2 or 3 energy fairy type move with a fun and unique effect that could maybe deal mediocre damage, but force switch your opponent's active Pokemon. We could maybe have some sort of ability on the Pokemon as well that draws up to 4 cards in your hand each turn if you discard an energy from hand similar to Lunatum. 0 energy retreat as well. Well, Peyton Phillips, first of all, even if it fits in the set or not, it doesn't matter. I genuinely want to hear your comment ideas, all of you. Like, any ideas that you have, put them in the comment section below. And even if it doesn't fit into the set, I will put it in if it's the best comment. So, let's go into Cynthia's Togekiss. So first, Cynthia's Togepi, 40 HP, 1 retreat, weak to Steel, Psychic type. For 1 colorless energy, you can find the friend. You search your deck for 3 Cynthia's Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand. If you picked any basic Pokemon using this attack, you may put them onto your bench. And then for 1 psychic energy, pound for 10. I feel like this is a good startup attacker, but also has 40 HP, so you don't really want to use that attack unless you're sure you're not going to get KO'd the next turn. Because Cynthia's Togetic, for 70 HP, 1 retreat, weak to fighting, resistant to weak to lightning, resist fighting, with the ability to champion power. You must discard a psychic energy from your hand in order to use this ability. Once you return, you may draw a card for each of your Cynthia's Pokemon in play. I feel like this is that Lunatone thing, but it doesn't rely on Solrock, it relies on Cynthia's Pokemon in general. So you could draw anywhere from 1 to 5 cards, or if you have Area 0, then 1 to 7, because you still need that 1 Terra Pokemon. So, depending on the deck, you could draw 1 to 7 cards per turn. So yeah, and then Psychic Colors, Fairy Flight, 50. And then Cynthia's Togekiss EX, 270 HP, no retreat, Psychic type, weak to flying, resist to fighting, Wing Shred, 1 colorless energy, Wing Shred for 80, and then for 3 psychic energy, Fairy Gust for 110. You may switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot, so Boss's Order on move. I did make it slightly weak. I feel like that it wouldn't really be meta. I feel like Cynthia's Togetic would be played in most Cynthia's decks. Maybe 1 copy of Togekiss, but I feel like out of all this, Togetic is the best card in this lane. Alright, so then we go into my new trainer cards. These are the only cards that I've created for this episode. And these are the first trainer cards that I've ever made. So first we have our stadium, Celestic Town, where once in your turn, you may heal 50 damage from one of your Cynthia's Pokemon. Simply easy enough. The reason why I chose to do this is because I like to play Cynthia's Garchomp a lot. And it does get countered by both Jamming Tower and other stadiums that I would love to turn off. And so right now I'm using Battle Cage. But if this existed, I would put like 3 copies in my deck. Simple easy as that. So we're going to skip the item for now and go to the supporter, Cynthia's Intuition, where you search your deck for a Cynthia's Pokemon that evolves from one of your bench Pokemon and put it on that Pokemon to evolve it. You cannot use this card on your first turn. So this could allow you to... This could replace Rare Candy, where you have your Cynthia's Gibble, it's your second turn, you evolve it into Cynthia's Gabite, and then you use this supporter card to evolve that into Cynthia's Garchomp EX, and now you have the Cynthia's Garchomp EX turn 2 without you having to use a Rare Candy. And the final item is Gengar in a Box. The final card is an item called Gengar in a Box, where you flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. If tails, your Pokemon's attacks do 50 less damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, you may be wondering, why did I do Gengar specifically? Well, this image is from Pokemon Pokopia, and that is because next episode will be Pokopia based. So tune in next time. Subscribe, comment your ideas below, and subscribe so I waste my money. Y'all have a good day. I will see you in the next video.